Hello, can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, we're live right now.
Yep.
Hey, Otter, don't be offended, but I'm gonna mute you real quick. You're already muted. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna unmute you after I'm done playing my set. Alright, I've been fiddling with my electronics for a while, and hopefully everything's gonna be at the appropriate volume. If it's not, then there's nothing I can do about it. Alright, this first song is called Impending Doom.
Speak, yes, I hear his dying soul. For long days are taking their toll. Gone mad, the final betrayal. I feel the echoes of Simon's wail. All raised in sulfur. According to the law, soul being consumed by darkness, becoming completely devoid of forgiveness. Now he's coming for her. He wanna be deterred. He's coming for her. Nowhere else to go. If he sees the powers below, no soul will escape. The assuming nightmare escape. Assuming spells enacted. Every devil's contacted. A deal was made. As well as jars of clay. Now he's coming for her. He wanna be deterred. He's coming for her. Before the fall, he never dreamt to destroy them all. It's their immorality as the cause of his loyalty. A man lacking remorse, becoming a walking corpse. He's been to hell and back. Now he's ready for the final attack. Now he's coming for her. He won't be deterred. He's coming for her. locusts. They're bringing kiss whiffs and locusts. They cannot put up a fight. Powerless cause only blight. She's unwilling a bloody knife. You destroyed everything. That's life. Now he's coming for her. He will not be deterred. He's coming for her.
This song's called Maiden Destroyer.
Where's my pet? He wields a magic orb. Where are his weapons to be absorbed? You're a master of sword and spell. A mixture from gods causes wages to quarrel. Witches and crime is in this war. Without penance, they must endure. All the creatures of chaos, see the mark of Pater. This creature that down is now by his creator. He's a mage destroyer. Face the wrath of Pater. He's a mage destroyer. Face the wrath of Pater. So lush, they were sure his skull they were crushed. They strayed so far from the altar, they swore to turn the mage destroyer into a martyr. The clash was smelling blade, but in the end, it's a light that would fade. Left with only one weapon, a lowly mace. He felt the grass like a hole frozen on his face. He's a mage destroyer. Face the wrath of Pater. He's a mage destroyer. Face the wrath of Pater. heathens and heretics failed, despite the plans of Nature's destroyer prevailed. Although challenged him and put to the sword, all his enemies, he has to accord. All be those who don't pay with decay. Will it be a higher price to pay? He's a mage destroyer. Face the wrath of Painter. He's a mage destroyer. Face the wrath of Painter. This next song is called Nazneen. This next song is called Chechnya White Maiden.
This next song is called Woman's Burden. Hold on.
Hands reaching to the sky. Hear the echo of the cry. The cause is pulled to earth. Hands clench pieces of gut. They are the hands of man, hailing from the filthy land. Tearing, screaming, tearing, screaming. Who are living eternity and think about mortality. Dirty hands pull apart flesh. She endures a wretched death. This beauty, brutality is the new reality. Tearing, screaming, tearing, screaming. You tell us there is nothing to fear. But who asked you to come here? Dirty hands pull apart flesh. She endures a wretched death. Don't believe the lie that goddesses can't die. Tearing, screaming, tearing, screaming.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for showing up. And now I'm going to have a small chat with Otter Jesus. Just give me a second.
I'm very small. I'm a very small otter.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. I forgot to reverb my voice back on, but whatever.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Thank you. Sorry, no encore. Maybe some other time.
Encore!
But if you like what you heard, please subscribe to my channel.
Somebody says encore in the chat.
And I know I'm looking at it right now. There's Datch is also saying encore, encore.
You could do an encore where I have my otter puppet dance to it.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause I should have said that before you started and said, "Oh, we could do that," and that would be cute. But
yeah, maybe next time. It's cool to have 5 people watching.
yeah, now it's 4. Oh, one of them is probably me. So
Well, I'm pretty sure
that's 5 again.
What?
It's 5 again.
Oh, it's 5 again. Cool.
Yeah. And I just tweeted that we're going to be talking now. So
All right, cool.
Anyways,
for some reason I forgot to put like the links to my my album and whatnot in the low bar.
Yeah. You gotta get good, Scrub.
Yeah, I know. I'm new with this. I'm new with this.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyways.
So, how have you been doing?
I don't know. I've been okay. Just been me. Trying to do more stuff and be more active and on Twitter. But
awesome.
I did 2 the Late Otter Show interviews. One on Thursday and then Friday, or one on Thursday and Friday. 2 days in a row.
That was awesome.
And I interviewed Datchet, who's in the chat.
Awesome. Thanks for subscribing, Datchet.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. How have you been doing?
I'm good. Just been working on various things. Yeah, particularly my music. I played a couple of shows.
Did people throw their panties at you?
No, not yet. I'm not at that level to have people throw their panties at me.
Did guys throw their underwear at you?
No, they didn't do that either.
Oh, that's too bad. Maybe next time.
Though I'd be flattered nonetheless.
The big fat guy, he like throws his massive tidy whities at you, and it just like blankets you, and it's like, oh, so sweet. That'd be horrible. No, that'd be cool. The fat guy liked you so much that he wanted to share his underwear with you.
Well, I mean,
where do you play shows though?
Well, there's this place called Spinnakers.
Are you doxing Spinnakers?
Well, they're a public venue, or they're a public bar, so I don't think they have a problem with me telling the internet of their existence. So yeah, okay. if you're ever in Modesto, just feel free to swing by Spinnakers.
That's a weird name. Spinnakers.
Do you want to go to Spinnakers so we can get our drink and listen to rock and roll?
Yeah, pretty much. They have shows there all the time.
How big of an audience have you had?
Not very big. I think like the biggest audience I had was like
just a really fat guy, just one really fat guy.
No, I think it's usually around like 8 people.
Oh, that's.
I think that's the biggest audience I've had that are actively listening to me. The thing is, like, it's a bar, so there are people who are sitting at the bar, like ordering drinks or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they can clearly hear me. So I have no idea whether they actually like what they're hearing or whether they're just too drunk to know the difference.
Is it just you that does all this?
Yeah, for the time being, it's just me.
And you have like a backup recording for the other stuff?
Yeah, I use
Huh.
this cell phone I got a long time ago. I think I got it from my brother.
Huh. Well, that's cool that you're doing that. I could never do anything like that.
You
Even
could.
if
I'm
I
pretty sure you
could
can
make
let.
music, I'd be terrified.
Well, I don't know. You have this like online persona, so maybe instead of like playing out in bars and clubs, you can just play on the internet like what I'm doing.
Yeah. I could go to a bar and be out of Jesus. And say,
This is the puppet, and I'm out of Jesus, and I'm gonna dance for you.
and then everybody's like, boo! The big fat guy's like, no, you can't have my underwear. That's only for special people. Yeah.
There we go. Now if you guys refresh your servers, you'll notice that I put the link to my Bandcamp where you can get my album.
I'd actually posted in the chat already.
I don't know, but like if people show up later on, they're not going to
Yeah.
see what you typed.
And then the chat will not be here later after this is over.
Yeah. No, nobody threw anything at me. Fortunately, nobody threw anything at me because like sometimes if you play really well, I'm pretty sure you get some ladies' panties being thrown at you. But if you play really badly, sometimes you get beer balls thrown at you, and I prefer that not happen.
Or you can get like ladies' panties that have stuff on them that you don't want on them. Like they save those and they're like, if they're bad, this is what I'm throwing. But if they're good, I'm throwing the nice kind. Women are horrible.
To be fair, I've never been to a concert where like somebody threw stuff at the band.
That's no fun.
I don't know. Sometimes the musicians get really pissed off when stuff gets thrown at them.
Like no, the band takes their guitars and they throw them at people. Like you weren't listening. Boom.
Well,
You were talking in the back.
actually, I did see this. There's this band called Z Strain, and like their guitarist, he has like this Fender Stratocaster. It's like really beaten up because he's constantly like throwing it around. Like it's just part of the show. Like at the end of the show, he just like throws it across the room.
Okay. Musicians are weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that guitar, like brand new, probably might run him like $500 plus. That's like the lower end of Fender Stratocasters. And so
I don't even know what that is, so
it's a guitar. It's a fancy guitar. That's all you really need to know.
okay.
So,
Just say that then.
Okay, it's expensive. They're on the higher. They're tend to be expensive guitars
Okay, that makes more sense.
that he was throwing around. And like, fortunate enough, he got his for like I think $50 at some yard sale or something.
Uh,
And so,
oh,
like,
somebody was stupid.
yeah, I mean, like it was beaten up to begin with, so he definitely wasn't gonna get full price for it. So, he said like, well, since it's already beaten up, I might as well just continue to beat it up.
Huh.
Dude, if that guy gets world famous, that guitar is gonna be worth like thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Even if it was covered in used women's panties, covered in
It
yucky
will
stuff.
be expensive because it's covered in yucky stuff. That's part of the history.
A guitar covered in menstrual blood. Ooh, I wanna buy that. Mm.
And if that was part of a stick, which it's not, but if it was part of a stick and somehow his guitar got covered in that stuff, then yeah, it would be worth a lot of money.
Ew. You can clean it off. It's still good.
So Ari, you grew up in the Philippines?
Yes.
So what's it like there?
It has 2 seasons: rainy and hot. And the people are really nice, usually. Although if you're white, and they'll all think you're super rich. And if like you get into a car accident, everyone will assume it's your fault. It's weird. Like that's not like a rule or anything, but I think it's more like, well, this person has more money, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, let's try to. And it's not like they're being like evil about it. It's just they just assume that white people are rich. Um, but the people are really nice people. They're the nicest people in Southeast Asia.
All right.
People would call them the smiling Asians. It's kind of weird. Seems almost kind of racist, but it's true. They're always really happy. It seems like even like the really poor people in the Philippines, the like the squatters and stuff, who will find little areas and build a little weird kind of house out of random stuff. They generally seem like they're happy people. So
All right.
yeah, they have really nice resorts and beaches and stuff. Although they have a Islamic terrorist group called Abu Sayyaf, who they don't do it to every resort area, but there are certain areas where they will bring in a speedboat and kidnap people.
Huh.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I heard about that kind of stuff going on.
I I was a missionary there. That's why I grew up there, and I knew this family who had family where they were going to eventually come to the school that I was at, but I can't remember where they were. I think they may have been in another part of the Philippines. And the parents were at a resort. I think it was like for an anniversary or something. And Abu Sayyaf came in and kidnapped him and kept him for a long time. And eventually, the wife escaped, but the husband ended up getting killed. And their last name was Burnham. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just talking.
Oh, that's fine. I'm listening. I
But
heard all
yeah,
sorts of stuff
so
as well.
it's generally a nice place, but it's not like there's problems there. There's a lot of political issues and corruption. They're a Catholic country basically, but yeah. So there's like basically what I was trying to say was the resorts are nice. It's a nice place to visit and stuff for that kind of stuff. I think it's also generally cheaper than most places. But you just gotta stay away from certain areas where the Abu Sayyaf people will come get you.
Okay.
So I think it's mostly sort of the southern islands of the Philippines where they do that
Okay.
because there are Muslim people there who want a Muslim country to be separated from the rest of the Philippines
Hmm.
because there's like three main islands. There's tons of other little islands, but there's three main islands, and the bottom island is the one where there's Muslims who want to make it separate, and they're not technically connected to the terrorist people, but yeah. So
Oh, okay.
it's complicated, but they're also the Philippines is really in a weird position because they're so unlike everyone else in the area. Like in terms of culture, they're like a Catholic country. Everywhere else is not like that, and the Philippines has had different people control them over the years to where like it was at one point it was the Spanish, the Japanese were kind of not really in control. I can't remember, but they were there and doing some horrible stuff, and the U.S. ended up controlling them at one point, and eventually they kind of like had a weird little thing where the Filipinos were like, "Oh, you should leave," and the U.S. is like, "Yeah, we want to, but there are people, but yeah, okay, fine," and they left, and they left behind, like they really helped the country a lot while they're there, but then after they left, it things just got strange and stuff. But I don't know. It's a lot of pollution and stuff, but I don't know. It's a nice country, sort of. People are nice.
So, are you rich? Because like you said,
No.
I think you're white. You are white, right? Correct. Are you?
Yes,
All right, just making sure.
I'm white. I'm very pale.
Okay. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of you, so I don't know what your
There are
ethnicity is.
pictures that I've posted, but that was probably like 6 months ago. I haven't really done that a whole lot lately. Although I did post a picture of me and my mom and my dog after I did that one little
Yeah.
video going like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm actually a mom, and I'm not a boy like I pretended to be." And then people were kind of taking it seriously,
That's the
and so
internet.
I just did that. I didn't want to like give away the joke completely, but I'm just like, here's evidence that I'm me. So
Yeah, that's the internet for you. No matter what you say, no matter how jokingly you say something, somebody on the internet is going to take it 100% seriously.
well, there was more. It was more just people were just kind of like they weren't really sure what to think because it was right after the Allison Prime thing.
That was hilarious.
So I was like, this will be fun, and it's like the opposite of Allison Prime, where really I was just pretending to be a guy on the internet. In fact, I'm actually a middle-aged mom. And my mom was fighting against it. She's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm like, come on, I'll be fine. It's like, okay, fine. And then after, she's like, how many people have watched it? Any more comments? I'm like, oh, mother.
So, what's that thing between you and Mercedes Carrera? How'd that start?
What?
What?
What
I
started?
think remember, like, I don't
Oh,
know.
people were joking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
People
you
were
and
saying I
Carrera
should
having
have
some
sex
time
with
having
her.
sex.
And then
Yeah,
people were
which
saying I
I
should have
agree with.
sex
You
with
should.
Nero. Or Milo, I mean.
If you feel
I
like
don't
it.
even remember how that started. It was so weird. I was very manic at the time, and
Uh,
like I was teasing atheists
mhm.
and stuff. And then started. I don't even know how I got into that. It was just weird. Oh, okay. The thing with Milo actually was I can't remember if it was Datchet or somebody else. I was streaming The Witcher, and somebody said something about having sex with Milo, or it's like, who would you rather have fuck you in the butt, Anita, Anita or Milo? And I'm like, Milo, of course, because yeah, like you would enjoy it probably. Who knows? Anyways, and then I ended up tweeting about that. I can't remember what happened. Why Mercedes got pulled into stuff with me. It was so weird. Oh no, I remember why. I tweeted something about how it's like, okay, um, who thinks that me and Mercedes Carrera should do a porn film where it's just us eating, what was it?
Pizza.
Yeah, eating pizza and giggling. And
Okay,
that's
so
what started that. And then people were like, no, it must be porn. Not they can't just be food porn or whatever, because that's technically kind of like a fetish porn thing where you
yeah.
just eat food. But yeah, and then it just spiraled into pulling like with the Milo thing, and yeah, it was strange. And she favorited some of those tweets, and I think Milo may have favorited one. I can't remember.
Did Milo start following you again?
Yes, he did.
Cool.
It was so sweet. I can't remember what I said to him, and then or I realized he was following me, and I pointed it out, and then he's like, "I couldn't leave you out in the cold," and I was like, "Oh." And I was like, somebody should draw a picture of Milo at the door with a little otter outside. And it's like, it's cold outside and there's a little otter. And he's like, come in, Otter Jesus. I can't leave you outside in the cold. Nobody drew it. That's really complicated to draw, though.
Yeah, if they're gonna make like if someone's gonna make like a Gamergate family tree, I think they should make you and Milo. You should be like Milo's little brother.
No, I should be his
Yeah, 'cause,
son.
I don't know.
I
I think you guys
called him
have more
Otter
like
God,
a.
and
I
I'm
think
Otter.
I think you do have more like a of a brother relationship than a father son relationship. That's the way I interpret it.
Well,
From what I
like
know.
he doesn't interact with me that much, but that's why I would think he's more like my dad, like Otter God or whatever, with a lowercase g, because
Okay.
he's kind of distant, but I know he cares.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, so they already have base mom, and so I think Karen Strong, like some people are calling her like base stepmom, but I think she more has like an aunt vibe, so an aunt vibe. So I think they should call her
Yeah.
base aunt.
She's strange. I like her though. She
Yeah.
once told me that I could lick her asshole, and I was like, you're drunk.
Yeah, I
It was
don't
just,
think she's just trying. I don't think she wants to. I don't think she's simply insulting people. I think she actually likes having her butthole licked.
she does. That's like a thing. But I can't remember. It was right after, or it was right before, right after they were up in Calgary Expo thing, and they were
Uh-huh.
doing this stream where you could like see them all sitting together because they were all together. And I was saying something about I was trying to get Karen to say something to Otter Jesus or me, and then she was like, "Otter Jesus can lick my asshole" or something. It was like, oh my. So yeah, I want to interview her on my little show, and
Uh-huh.
I had Allison ask her one time. They're in like this weird little hangout thing. It wasn't a stream or anything. It's with a bunch of their patrons, or yeah. And Allison asked her, and then Karen's like, "Oh, why would you want to interview me? I'm busy or something." But I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna try to interview Milo at some point too, hopefully, because somebody asked him for me in private DMs about it. I was like, they said, oh, he said he'd be interested, or he'd think about it or something. So it's like, ooh, but you never know. He's so busy,
Cool.
and he loves to be in the spotlight. And my show is not a spotlight.
Yeah, have you ever heard of a woman or a YouTuber named Femintheus Divine?
Nope.
Basically, like she was just some crazy lady who I think one of her highlights was
Oh, Femitheist.
yeah.
I
So
thought
you've
you said
heard,
something else. Yeah, I've heard of her. Didn't she
yeah,
say like all men should be killed or something?
no, she wanted like an international castration day.
Oh,
So anyway, like later on, she starts following me on Twitter for whatever reason. I'm not quite
yeah, I
sure.
saw that you said she wasn't following you anymore.
Yeah, but then she started following me again. But anyway, I asked her to be on the show, and she hasn't responded yet. So I don't know. She she might she might pop up on this my monthly podcast one day.
Oh no.
Oh, hold on, here's the thing though. But she said that character, the whole internet castration thing, that
Mhm.
character was just a character. That it was just some satirical character, and that she doesn't actually believe.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she's claiming.
Maybe she did that after a bunch of blowback from feminists and men's rights activists and just regular people.
I doubt it because if you're gonna make a character like that,
You're cutting
you
in and
just got
out.
tired of that character. Oh, all right. If you're gonna make a character like that, you're expecting blowback. So
Okay.
I think she probably just got tired of it. But you know what? If she shows up on the podcast, she can explain herself.
Well, there was that one after like the earthquake or the tsunami in Japan where the bad one, like there was one recently that wasn't that bad, where it took out
Uh,
like there was like a nuclear power plant and it ended up destroying some of that. After that happened, there was like somebody who posted a video of themselves like, "Oh, thank God for what happened in Japan." And they're acting like they were happy, and then God was like happy, and God did it to punish them or something. And everyone got mad at her, and then she's like, "It was just a joke."
you see what I mean?
And
Things
who
that are cut
knows if it
out.
was real or not? Because it could have been real, and it's just a joke as the fallback for pretty much anything. But yeah, the internet's strange and creepy.
Yeah.
I watched this video on YouTube where it was like four or like five YouTube channels that are dead. And basically, they were channels that still produce content, but they were dead because no one cared about them anymore. And
Uh-huh.
there was a list of these different people. I'd never heard of any of them except maybe like one, I think.
Really?
They were all these accounts that were really popular at the beginning, and then they just died. Like the people either sold the channel and other content was being produced, or they just became like there's no point, like nobody cared. It's like that's so weird because this was only like 10 years ago. So weird. E-celebs will die quickly. That's why I'm happy I'm I'm a Gamergate meme instead. Memes live forever.
So, you ever watch this anime called Ranma One Half?
No, I don't watch a lot of anime.
Uh,
Why? You want to tell me about it?
well, I wanted to talk about it, but I don't
You
know.
can talk about it, and then I'll say that's gay.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not much of a conversation if you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh, well,
I don't know.
talk
Have
about
you
it and see
seen?
what I think.
Well, I don't know. Let's see what else. I want to talk about like TV shows, but I'm kind of wondering what we both have seen.
Did you watch
Uh,
Jessica Jones?
no, I did not.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Have you watched Adventure Time?
I watched some of Adventure Time.
Some of it. You gotta watch all of it.
I watched like 2 seasons maybe.
I don't know, like there's this part. There's this character that's called what's her name? Marshalling the Vampire Queen.
Yeah.
And so after like 7 seasons, they finally actually go into like more of her backstory. And there's this. I don't want to like explain. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it. But it's like after seeing this part, I'm like, shouldn't they have like told us about this like a long time ago? Like this would have been really interesting to know. But I don't know why they wait until now to show us this interesting part about her.
Well, it's because they hadn't ever thought about it, and then they started going like, "We need new ideas. Like, let's do this." That show doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense if you watch it. It makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Come on, be honest. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense. I'm being
No.
honest.
Like, there's that little elephant woman or something, and she's always like acting creepy and weird. It's like,
Was
why?
because she's old. That's why.
Why does she think everybody wants to see her sexy?
She's
Like,
got
this is
erotomania.
creepy. It's
She's
just-
got erotomania. That's why everybody thinks. That's why she thinks that everybody thinks she's sexy.
yeah, it's disturbing.
Perfect sense.
The whole show is just like, let's just do something weird, and then like, okay, now let's try to make sense of it. Because I don't think like there's a whole thing. Well, there's kind of a spoiler, but you find out that he's like the only human, or that he's human, and this is like a post-apocalyptic world.
Uh-huh.
Like, what? What is this,
What's
Shannara?
what's so confusing about that?
That's just weird. It just seems so random. I mean, how does that make sense when there's like candy people?
What's her face made them? What's her name? Bubblegum, Princess Bubblegum. She made them
Yeah, but how? That's magic
with science.
with science.
Yeah, with science.
Science doesn't allow magic.
Well, that's why it's not magic. It's science.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's some people do science, some people do magic. There's like this wizard city that the only way you can get inside is if you're also a wizard.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah, so they basically just deal in magic while Princess Bubblegum deals in science.
It's just strange. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I just like people are trying to act like, oh, it all makes sense. And like, not really. It's just people who grew up on cartoons and went to Cal Arts, and then you're like, let's be edgy, but make a children's show. It's like,
Be honest, like they do talk about topics that like kids probably wouldn't understand.
exactly. That's why I don't think of it as a children's show. I think of it as an adult cartoon that children's are able to watch.
Yeah, that's the way
I'm not
cartoons
saying
should
it's
be
bad.
made. That's
only-
the way cartoons should be made.
No, I don't think so. I think that cartoons should be made for children, but made in a way where adults can enjoy them. That's how cartoons used to be. Now they're being made for adults, and then children can enjoy it too. At least the ones that are really popular, it seems like.
Yeah,
Gargoyles
well,
was made for children, and that was really a good show that adults can enjoy.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you make a show that like adults will like as well as kids, and like that expands your market. So, because kids, you can get kids to like your show, but they don't have any money. The parents have the money. So if you get the parents to like it as well,
No, if a child likes something, it doesn't matter if the parents like it. The child will go, "I want it," and then the parents will go, "Okay, fine, you can have it," and they'll buy it.
well, yeah. But that's the thing though. Like if the adults like it, they'll buy it first, and then they'll introduce it to their kid.
Well, what do you mean buy? Like toys or something? Because with shows, you don't buy shows.
Well, I mean, there are people who buy DVDs, and
That's actually starting, at least with TV shows, that's starting to become pointless because you can just watch the stuff on other things. Although with something like Adventure Time, Hulu doesn't have the latest episodes, and Netflix doesn't have. I don't think does Netflix have an agreement with them. Netflix has some weird agreement where they have like the first 2 seasons of Cartoon Network shows that have been on for like 7 seasons. So with something like that, I guess that's with a show like that, people would actually still buy the DVDs, or they just be really patient.
Mm.
But even then, it's like usually if I don't know what I'm saying.
That's fine.
Adventure Time is what I Hulu is where I watch Adventure Time though, where I've watched it because they have an agreement, and you don't have to watch any ads when it's like a 15-minute program.
Thanks, Datchet. I don't even know if or not, but adults are grown-up children. That's literally what they are.
Social justice warriors are grown-up children.
Anyway, Datchet, I'm not going to talk about Kotaku because I know nothing about Kotaku.
That's all you need to know, really. That
Sorry to
it's
disappoint you,
called
Datchet.
Kotaku. It's so stupid. It needs to go away. Kotaku, more like big pile of poo. I used to like Kotaku. Then I realized how shitty it was. But yeah. No more Kotaku for you.
Well, is
I
there,
like
anything else,
tofu.
is there anything else you can tell me about the Philippines?
Piracy is rampant.
Piracy? You mean like? What do you mean by
Not
piracy?
like pirates. Piracy is in like content being stolen.
Okay. Well,
And it's because of China being really close by.
okay. Hey, did you say something about like China wants to take over the Philippines or wants to control the
Yes,
Philippines?
China would be very happy to do that.
Okay.
They've actually been fighting over like an island, and the U.S. I think like gave the Philippines a battleship or something. Like, hey, have this, because the Philippines is very important for America to have a friendly relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, we have bases there, or we had bases there that are still there. They're just not being used as bases.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a really strategic point in Southeast Asia. So yeah, they just like, hey, we want to help you guys out. But yeah, China wants to take over, and a lot of Filipinos are they're Chinese Filipinos, and then they're like, I don't know if you'd call them Hispanic, but like there are people in the Philippines. There will be people who look more Chinese and have lighter skin, and then there will be ones with darker skin, and some of that will be like the people who were in the Philippines at the beginning when before people started coming. But there are also like the Spanish influence, which mix with the I guess you could say Aboriginals there. Like they have darker skin, and there's some with really dark skin, and some with just there are some who look almost like they're Mexican, like non-white Mexicans, because there are white Mexicans.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I think
well, it's like people always think that that's not a thing, but it is.
Oh, what's the guy's name? That comedian? Dude, he's balding, he has red hair.
I have no idea.
Oh, Louis C.K. He was actually born in Mexico.
Oh. Not just Louis C.K. Like, I don't care about Mexico. I just can't stand him. He seems so sad.
Well, I think it's because he is sad.
Wait, so he can't become president?
Louis C.K.?
Yeah, he can't become president because he was born in another country.
I don't think... Actually, I heard if one of your parents is an American citizen, then you can run for president.
Oh, okay, so because one of the U.S. candidates was born in Canada.
Yeah, but
like, you can't be president, blah, 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 was stupid. And I'm like, shut up, go to Mexico and live there.
What's his face? His I think his mom is American citizen.
Yeah. So there's kind of like a little wiggle room. But...
Yeah.
Anyways, so in the Philippines, they have different types of Filipinos. Where there are some who are more Chinese, some who are more Spanish-ish or whatever. And there is some bigotry with that,
Uh,
where like a lot of Filipinos will be like, "We want really light skin," and they have creams for it. And it's like
oh wow.
it's not that great to have white skin. It doesn't make you rich. As soon as your skin is light, millions of dollars in your account. What? No. And then with China being so close and stuff, a lot of Filipinos will actually go work in China as like maids or like people who work with in somebody's house with like a. In general, I basically it's like maids mostly, as far as I know. I'm not gonna look it up. And there's so many that do that. They have a line at airports specifically for Filipinos who work overseas and then come back.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, it's an interesting country because it's just so out of place within all the rest of Asia. But if you're ever able to go there on a vacation, it's a pretty nice place to go for a vacation because everything's really cheap.
All right, I'll make sure to stay away from the southern side, the southern part. I like in
Yeah.
America. I'm just joking. I actually been to the American South. Is not as bad as everybody says it is.
It's not bad at
Actually,
all. It's
everyone
better.
yeah, yeah. Actually, everyone's really nice. Everyone was extremely nice when we went to the parts of the American South.
And if they're gonna be, if they actually are like racist or something, I think a lot of them are gonna just keep it to themselves. But not like they're black racists in the South too, I'm sure. So,
All right.
and then there are the Mexicans. Oh, that's actually like a thing. That's kind of a stereotype where Mexicans are like really racist against black people. I'm saying that based on like people I know who've like heard Mexicans talking really horrible about black people.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's like everyone's racist. Let's all agree that it's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I was planning on having this only go for like an hour, so
Okay.
yeah, I think I'm gonna end it somewhat soon. So
Okay.
yeah, everybody's listening. Buy my album. You can see it in the that link in the low bar. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Twitter if you like. Like me on Facebook. Jin Chechnya. Jin Chechnya's White Maiden. What else? Is there anything else to say?
We could talk about how Beyonce is going to be a white woman in a few years.
So she's pulling Michael Jackson.
I guess like that's just like Beyonce is lightening her skin, and then he's like, she has gotten whiter over time, and I'm like, really? Because I never cared about Beyonce, so I wouldn't know. Like, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I try
The
to get
Chinese
to
are supposed to be racist.
supposed to.
Like Japan is really racist. China is pretty racist. Everyone in Asia is pretty racist against Filipinos because they're like, you're not Asian, you're just Mexicans. No, they don't say that, but they're like, you're not really Asian. But they're like,
Yeah,
no, we are.
yeah. I tried to get Hannah Wallen to be on this episode, but I don't know, she was like really busy this month, and
Yeah,
I
she's
didn't.
very busy.
Yeah, I didn't feel like just sitting around waiting to have this live stream while I wait for our schedules to match up.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided just to grab whoever I could and just go with it.
And I was the only person who didn't have anything to do.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I'm gonna be fair. I could have done something else, but I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this with him.
oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I was letting you know that I'm going to be doing this like monthly. So
Mhm.
I probably won't have like a consistent schedule. Just at some point during the month, every month, I'm going to be doing a live stream.
Okay, just let me know.
I'll let you know. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Like and subscribe.
Good night. This guy's a pretty good guy.